Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Laptime challenge on Gran Turismo 7. This week we are racing on Willow Springs, a desert track in the US, and we are on Group 4 vehicles. It seems the go-to car is currently the Alfa Romeo 4C, so let's just go for this one. The cars are equipped with racing hard tires. The current world record is a 1:16.7, and that leaves us to beat at least a 1:19.0. So let's get right into the guide on this one.
Getting into a new lap by retrying or just starting into your laps, make sure you rev out the 4th gear and keep it flat out through the last corner, upshifting to 5th and then going over to the right hand side of the track. Then keep an eye for the 100 meter board, cause your very first brake marker will be in between 100 and the 50 board, so right in the dead center. Give it a hard brake input, immediately down to 4th and then trail braking into the corner and then fully back to the power and use all the width of the track. Next go up to 5th and over to the left hand side of the track and then turn into the right hand side, and when you see this dent in the white line, that is actually your brake marker. So give it a short brake input and immediately down to 4th and let the car roll with some slight power input. If you're getting too wide, give it a slight lift on the power, try to stay narrow to the inside and then keep it flat out and don't go off the track on the left hand side now. Try to keep a high amount of speed without going too wide. Then up to 5th, the next brake marker is shortly ahead of the 50 meter board. Hard brake input again and down to 3rd gear, go for a late turn in or a late apex so you can go earlier through the power again. Then flat out shortly and to the inside for this corner, and once you see this marshal on the right, lift the power and give it a slight brake input to keep it narrow for this right hand side corner. Then try to go to the power very early and again use all the width of the track to the left hand side. Then over to the right and cut this curb on the right hand side, and shortly before you enter the track again, go to the brakes, down to 3rd gear, let the car roll into this left hander, try to avoid sliding, early upshift to 4th and then fully back to the power again. The next section is actually flat out, so go up to 5th gear over to the left hand side of the track and now try to get on a straight line to the inside for the next right hander. Try to keep it narrow so you don't waste any time, keep it in 5th gear, don't upshift to 6th, then go over to the left hand side. And shortly after the 200 meter board on the left hand side, turn in and lift the accelerator pedal, give it some very slight brake input, try to keep a good line through this corner, not too narrow, not too wide, and then aim for the part of the curb where it tightens up a little. From this point go flat out, try to not go off track and then just keep your speed up to the finish line to get yourself 2 million credits with a gold time. And as usual, let's review the lap once more from chase cam. So getting into your lap, try to stay on the right hand side of the track in between the 100 and the 50 board, give it a hard brake input, trail braking in 4th gear into the corner and early back to the power. Then over to the left hand side of the track up to 5th, into the corner before braking slightly, down to 4th, trying to keep a narrow line through this right hander, lifting the power pedal slightly if you're going too wide, and then use all the width of the track up to 5th gear over to the right hand side of the track. The 50 meter board is your brake marker, down to 3rd, go for a late turn in, early back to the power again, into this right hander, then lifting the pedal, slight brake input, try to keep it narrow, early back to the power again, use all the width of the track, then over to the right, cut a lot of this curb, shortly before the end of the curb, brake input down to 3rd shortly, then early up to 4th again and fully back to the power again. The last part is flat out, so over to the left hand side, up to 5th gear, then aim for the inside of this last right hand corner, try to keep it narrow to not waste any time, and keep it flat out in 5th, don't go up to 6th gear even though you're short to the rev limiter. The 200 board is your turn in marker, lift the power pedal, a very slight brake input, try to keep a narrow line, then aim for the curb where it tightens up a little, go flat out, make yourself your way to the finish line and get yourself those 2 million credits.
And that's already it for this week's Laptime challenge on Willow Springs International Raceway in Group 4 vehicles. I have to say this one is quite enjoyable, especially if you think of last week's challenge in the snow, which to be honest I haven't even tried once. Let me know in the comments what car you were using for this one and what time in the end you were able to achieve. And as usual, if this guide helps you out, I'd be happy if you share, like and subscribe. And then I say thank you for watching, I hope to see you guys in the next one and bye bye.